What is going on, guys? This is Hero Talk, and this is the second part of the 4chan leak for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. As I already said in my previous video, this 4chan posts are basically just leaks for the whole plot of the upcoming Phase 3 Marvel movies. This isn't confirmed to be legit, but still it sounds very likely to me. Needless to say, this will contain major spoilers or just very important information for the movies, so if you don't like to be spoiled or get information for the movie before watching it, you should maybe not watch this video. But let's get into this. So, Guardians Volume 2. Ego is made out to be the main villain at first, but it is actually Aisha, although Ego is also an antagonist. Taserface serves as a secondary foe. Sylvester Stallone and Sharon Stone are playing members of the Ancients, a race of immortal aliens that hire the Guardians of the Galaxy to stop Ego as part of a bigger plan masterminded by Aisha. So that's very interesting. I have to stop right here. I already mentioned that Sylvester Stallone will have a role in this movie before, but it actually said that he will be a Ravager. So this is a point where I am getting a little suspicious. By the way, this is also the first time that I am reading this. But yes, hearing that these are just immortal aliens hired by Aisha, as I understood this. They are basically trying to get the Guardians to stop Ego so that Aisha can stop them. Let's continue. Yondu and Nebula are joining the team alongside Mantis, who is Star-Lord's half-sister and a prisoner of Ego. So that's interesting, because if this is real, this is just confirming that Yondu and Nebula are indeed joining the team. And then there is also Mantis, and that's interesting that she is Ego's prisoner, as Ego is confirmed to be Star-Lord's father. This is basically very much interesting because there will be some family trouble, I think, in this movie. But let's carry on. The Nova Corps will make an appearance, and the Kree will also have a larger role. Groot will remain child-sized for a large portion of the movie. And that's very sad to me, because Groot is very powerful and a very cool character, and I would have liked to see much of him, but I can imagine that also as a baby he will be great. And I can imagine that as a baby he will have a very comedic role. Yes, but what this actually says is that we will see Groot growing again later in the movie. So if this is real, here's the confirmation for Groot growing again in Guardians Volume 2. Let's continue. There's a minor romantic subplot between Star-Lord and Gamora following the seeds planted in the first movie. And here I think that it's good that they won't make something big out of Star-Lord and Gamora's relationship. I mean, I think it is interesting, but there is enough stuff that this movie has to care about, and I think that this relationship isn't as important to the whole movie, and the role that it plays in the whole MCU is so important as other things that the Guardians might make in this movie. But still, it's good that they are putting something into it. Then Thanos won't appear in the movie, but will be referenced. And it was actually James Gunn who didn't want Thanos to appear. He already didn't want him to appear in the first movie, but he was basically forced to put him in this movie because Thanos needed to be present in some movies. So it's basically a bit bad that he doesn't appear, because I want to see more of him already before Infinity War, because Thanos is a very interesting character, and when it gets to Infinity War, I would like him to be already introduced as a character so that the battle can begin. But obviously, also in Infinity War, Thanos has to be introduced for everyone who only watches Avengers, the Avengers sequel. So everyone who only watches the Avengers movies has also to know who Thanos is. But let's carry on. There'll be no Infinity Stones, although they are referenced. So Thanos and the Infinity Stones both won't appear, and there will be a reference to them. That makes me actually remember the Collector, because I didn't hear anything about the Collector appearing in this movie, and I don't know if he will. So maybe the Collector will just mention the Infinity Stones or also Thanos. What I imagine is that they will be referenced in the same situation, just because maybe Thanos is in possession of most of the Infinity Stones. So maybe at one point in the movie they'll just recognize that they have to stop Thanos because he's getting very, very powerful. But let's get to the next point, which is also very interesting. The movie ending leads directly to Avengers Infinity War. And that's just amazing, because since the Guardians of the Galaxy will appear in Avengers Infinity War, I imagine them to travel to the Earth at the end of the movie, because the first Avengers part is said to play on Earth, while the second Avengers Infinity War will take place in space. What this also tells is that while Guardians of the Galaxy is going through all their events, all the other movies of the Phase 3 that are coming out will be chronologically simultaneous to Guardians of the Galaxy. And maybe at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 we will get some hints about what all the other characters are making. But let's go to the last point. There are plans for a sequel, but James Gunn still isn't officially attached to write and direct, although Marvel wants him to direct. So I hope that James Gunn will make a sequel, a third part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, because I hope them to appear in Phase 4 again, and I hope them to be more important in Phase 4. Because until now they were actually pretty standalone characters in this whole Marvel universe, but they can actually play a very important role, as they have connections to space and can have more information about Infinity Stones as other characters. So yes, this was the plot leak video for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I have, although, a final thought about this, and this would be Thor appearing in the movie. That's just speculation right now, but I think it would make sense maybe to bring Thor into this movie, because he's also in space, and this would just create maybe a little connection to all the other Avengers, to the Guardians of the Galaxy. And since we already got to know that Thor is actually searching for Thanos in Thor Ragnarok, it would also make sense if he flies by the Guardians of the Galaxy and just searches for information there, because they have some kind of a connection to Thanos, as Thanos's daughters are in the Guardians of the Galaxy. So yes. But anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments. Comments are always appreciated. And if you did enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.